Hey, my name is Dawn D. Boyer, PhD. I want to thank you for being a valued client for the resume writing services. My logo is "Your success is my success," and I truly mean that. I'm going to work with you until you're happy with the resume, and together we will turn your resume into a lean, mean career tool for your job search. Some folks can follow instructions better if they hear it, and others if they read it, and haven't written instructions too. So this short video will help you follow along as you read and hear the instructions. Don't worry if you don't catch everything here, it's all written down in the instructions provided in my initial email. First, you will notice the attached document has a file name set up in a specific format, with your last and first name, the type of resume, the month and year, and the last piece is the alpha indicator that helps us keep track of which version we are working on at the moment. When you receive each version of the resume, just save it to your computer in the version and name I send it to you with. When I update it, I will change the letters at the end of the file name so we can keep track of the edited versions. For best practices, we will be working in a Microsoft Word document format. If you use OpenOffice or Google Docs, unless your automatic document formatting is set up the same as how I set it in the Microsoft Word version, you may see slightly different formatting and possibly a different number of pages. For instance, Google Docs automatically adds a 36-point font leading space to footer page numbers. What happens then is the resume I send to you might be 4 pages, but when you open it up in Google Docs, it may be 5 pages. If you use Google Cloud Storage, you will need to download the document once you're finished working in it to your computer, then attach the file to an email, and then send it to me. I will not be able to access your Google Docs if they are password protected. When you open the Word document, your first reaction may be, to panic. Please don't. I have pushed some tough Marines who have been in the service for 35 years, almost to tears. But here's what I tell my clients. Remember back in the 4th grade when you turned in an essay you thought was perfect, and the teacher handed it back dripping in blood, which was the red markup pen, marking up what you did wrong? Well, the good news is the red text in your reformatted resume is me asking, what did you do right? I've put on my hat as the recruiter from hell and will ask you more about your capabilities and accomplishments and achievements from your current and past jobs. We will rewrite the resume to show, not tell, what you did right. We will use metrics to show how well you did and performed for your current and past employers. So above is a sample of what you're going to look at when you get it back after you have initially reviewed and reformatted it for your homework round. There's going to be some text that I may have crossed out as non-vital or too down in the weeds, and I'll ask other questions to get more vital details out of you that you may have not thought was important, or maybe you forgot about it. We're going to make you look so good. Once you get the first homework round, your portion of the round-robin rewrite process is to open the document and then go line by line to answer my questions. The good news is I only need short answers. You don't need to write an essay. You don't have to worry about spelling, grammar, or punctuation. That's my job. And the metrics, numbers and dollar amounts, are simply your best guesstimate. They don't have to be exact or perfect. I do ask that you do not use the review panel in Microsoft Word to answer the questions. Word documents are notorious for sometimes getting locked in the review panel, showing all the changes, and we don't want that showing to any recruiters. Instead, turn on a color text when you start answering the questions. For example, the resume content may resemble the below sample after I ask the questions in the first round. So you'll see the black text was what you originally sent to me, the red text are the recruiter from hell questions, and the purple text is where the resume owner answered the questions in short answers. You may look at the resume and think to yourself, I don't like that formatting. Please don't change it. There is a reason for the specific type of formatting in this resume project. Recruiters love this simple to read and quick to assess proposal resume format. I have encountered thousands of resumes with 20 plus years in HR that once loaded into the automatic tracking system will crap out after going through the parsing process, which is a conversion to plain text. The resume is going to turn into a really hard to read mess with all those extra bells and whistles that were originally in there. Fancy elements such as word text boxes, graphics, footers, and bullets may turn into a real muddle. You and I will be working on a practical and simple resume. The most important elements in the resume will be in the top 4.5 inches, so resume recruiters can scan for just the minimum qualifications to consider you as an applicant. The objective should only be the job title you are seeking versus a subjective paragraph that recruiters really hate to read. Depending upon which resume rewrite service you've purchased from DBoyerConsulting, either the commercial or government services or both, you will see specific formatting in the rebuild of your resume. The GS resume asks far more personal information from the applicant on the USA Jobs website that could be used for ID theft, including salary info, supervisor data, security clearance levels, and personal addresses, so we keep it shorter in the commercial version. On the left is a commercial resume format, and the right is one with government services that you can see has far more information loaded in, specifically towards the bottom. Many clients often offer me the descriptions for the job to which they want to apply and/or performance evaluations. These really are not useful and can potentially bias the resume writing process. If you write it to a job, you will have to rewrite the resume multiple times. Why don't we just simply write a capabilities resume? Performance evals, especially in the military, are loaded with subjective and not particularly provable factoids. Performed brilliantly, accomplished excellently, mastered the task of, or passive statements such as chosen for. We don't want those in your resume. My forte is to draw out enough details out of your head to showcase your capabilities and abilities to perform jobs and perform that job well, so the recruiters can assess what you can do to resolve their company's problems as a new hire and employee. My job is to tease the recruiters with the basics so they are curious and want to know more about you. We don't want to be too detailed and give it all away before they can interview you. Show, not tell, what you have achieved for current and past employers, and to write convincingly about your knowledge, skills, and abilities, and show measurements proving your capabilities to perform. Once you get the answered questions back to me, this is when the magic happens. I take the answers to your questions to formulate a concise, rich, and compact bulleted statement about what you have achieved. We'll use metrics to document measurements of performance. I will keep a set of pages in the resume as low as we can get, but not restrict the length if you have a rich and vital work experience history. The resume may go back and forth a few rounds after the homework round to finalize and clarify any remaining questions. Here is a sample of a completed resume with the personal information blocked out, but you can see it's very simple to read, has sets of bullets that outline exactly what this gentleman did, and they're rich in wording. So are you excited? Are we ready to begin? Let's start this exciting journey to find your new career position with a richly worded, enhanced, and loaded with key skills words resume.